thank you for watching. A new video blog today from Tbilisi in Georgia. Why are Brazil, India and South Africa not so much upcoming anymore? Now, maybe, let's say 20 years ago, everybody was talking about these countries, Brazil, India, South Africa, as growing and upcoming countries. They somehow seem to have this booming economy. You know, many people wanted to invest in these countries. And I remember that there was also this ETF for the upcoming economies like Brazil, India, South Africa, Russia was also part of it. But mainly Brazil, India and South Africa were like super upcoming. Now, that was 20 years ago, but the last years it seems to have changed. They don't seem to do all that well anymore. It seems like, yeah, it's a bit over. And has this anything to do with wars, with, you know, Trump, whatever, all these things that people will say, inflation, money printing, everything? Well, one thing that people will never ever say or mention in their like data, economical data, is of course that these countries have now also birth rates that are close to replacement levels. And this is very serious because if you are upcoming, you need to have an abundance of laborers, of workers, people that can do their jobs. But if this is failing, if the numbers are dropping so rapidly, this means that there's just not enough people born to give the economy the boom, to have the workers that you need. Now this is happening in Brazil and this is happening in India and also South Africa. But mainly India and Brazil are now approaching replacement levels. So new workers haven't been really born anymore. This means higher costs for companies. You cannot get any cheap labor. But what's more concerning is that all these births that they used to have, like 3 children per woman, it's now close to 2 children per woman. And that means that a lot of demand for example, food, clothing, services, it's just not there anymore. The demand is gone. And when the demand is gone, basically your economy stands still. Because there's just no demand. No newborn babies, no new demand. Very simple. So this means that the economy cannot grow, is coming to a halt. And that's exactly what's happening in these countries. Over 20 years they went from countries with high birth rates, more than the replacement levels. So a lot of new people, they went down and they will go down even below the replacement levels. It's just a fact. A trend will continue. It's not suddenly all these families start to have 4 or 5 children. No. It's more realistic that they will have even fewer children. So not 2 children per woman, but 1.5, maybe 1. And this is also, of course, happening in India. Still, people in the West think, oh, India, just like baby boom after baby boom. It's not the case. they come to now replacement levels, and soon they will go under that, because that's just a trend. People choose now to have fewer children. It's what they want, apparently. I don't say it's necessarily good, but if you like the civilization, the civilized world where you're living in, with all the luxurious things that you have, all the things that you want, you have to realize that soon this will be over. Because it has been always built upon families and birth rates that were above replacement levels. And that is why these countries, Brazil, India, South Africa, they don't do that well anymore. And the only reason is the declining birth rates. I explained it. And you have to realize, because I even wasn't really aware that in Brazil and India the birth rates were so low. I was thinking, oh, it's maybe 3 in Brazil and 4 children per woman in India. I was thinking they were really in that baby boom, but it's not the case. Times change so fast, people change very fast. They don't want it anymore, it's their decision. Not necessarily good, but it's their decision, you cannot change it. Most people aren't aware that they are the part of the problem themselves. They decide to have very small families or no families at all. And yeah, you will see that in the economy. It will reflect in the economy. And you can pour in immigrants and you can do all these or investors to try to save the economy. And now of course they try to print more money, so currency debasement, you know, it helps temporarily, but eventually it doesn't work. The only thing that the economy can save is higher birth rates. And that's happening to these countries, and that's why they're suffering now, and they will suffer more. So the only solution for them is to go back to a natural birth rate above replacement level. So that was for today. From Tbilisi, Georgia, I say thank you for watching and see you next time.